Today's cameras are capable of shooting an amazing amount of frames per second. And I've joked on my podcast about how I'm a little bit obsessive compulsive and I like to overshoot just to make sure that I got the shot. But what are you supposed to do whenever you get home and you have 400 shots of the same subject in almost the same position? In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I think about whenever I'm narrowing down the 1 or 2 shots that I would like to edit out of a batch of images. So let's jump right into Lightroom, and I want to share a quick tip with you. Whenever we're trying to find images that we like, forget about the attributes that we're looking for. Sometimes it's nice to be able to find an image and say, hey, I want to go back to this one later. So in Lightroom, the way that you can do that is once you find an image, just click P on your keyboard and it's going to flag that image. And then what we can do is come over here and we can find flagged images, and you can see I have a series of flagged images here already that I've been going through. So that's a really nice way to be able to go back and find images that you might want to do a little something with later on. So going through these images, as I start out here, I can see that this bear is making kind of a goofy face. We can zoom in and see that. So these are images that I'm definitely not going to want to use. Humans can make goofy faces and animals can do the same thing. So we're not going to do these ones. But while I'm zooming in here, I can see that the focus of this image is critically sharp right on his eyes. And that is the #1 thing that I'm looking for whenever I'm culling through images. I want to make sure that the focus is sharp. So we're going to continue to look through these images, and I'm trying to find a position of his head that I might like. Now, he's kind of looking off to the side here, starting to smile a little bit, which is kind of funny. But I want to see both eyes, I think. And I have so many options here. Now, what I don't like about this image is that whenever I really look at it, there's a shadow being cast right here. So the sun's up here, and it's casting a shadow down from his head, blocking part of his body. And, you know, maybe I could do something with that. But I have so many more options in this series of shots that I'm going to just forego that one. So moving through, looking at all of these different shots. I kind of like his look here a little bit, but I'm not a fan of the composition. I wish I would have left more room up here, but I do like his look. So potentially, you know what, I might mark that as a pick that I could go back and find later. Oh, I like him looking right here. Right there. I love those eyes. Love it. So I'm going to pick that one. Something else that I'm looking for is these catch lights. So anytime you can find catch lights in the image, it's going to make the face just pop so much more. It's such a dynamic look. Love having those catch lights in the eyes. And in the case of a bear, a dark-bodied, dark face, dark-eyed animal, those catch lights really make those eyes pop. I also really like it whenever I can see some white in the eyes, especially with a bear, because they are so dark. I kind of like that one. And as you can see, I've already edited this one. I kind of liked his look, even though his eye, on this side, his right eye, I can't see it really closely. I still liked his look, like he was just pondering life. So moving along here. This is another one that I chose to edit. I chose to edit this just because I loved the catch lights. I liked the pose. It was critically sharp. His head was in a good position. His ears with bears, I like to make sure that the ears, if at all possible, are both facing forward, and that gave me that option. So we can just kind of keep looking through here real quick, looking for some images that we might prefer. And whenever I find one that I might want to go back to later, again, I'm going to click the P, and now he's up and about doing something different. But clicking the P, and I'm just going to click it again just to have another shot here. We can go into those flagged images, and then it's so nice to be able to see those shots that are kind of similar, but then be able to break it down even further to see which shot I might prefer. Starting from the back, moving forward, I have a series of images of a black bear cub climbing down a tree. And you know, these images here, before I can even see his head, there's no reason to do anything with these images. His face is hidden behind the tree. No one is going to want to look at that image, even on Facebook or Instagram, anything like that. So I'm going to find a shot where I can see his head. Now, he's starting to turn here and I can see his eye, but again, the black body, the black eye, the catch light is there, but it's not real bright. So what I'm going to do is keep moving through and try to find one where that eye might be a little bit more noticeable. And right there, I think is a pretty decent one. So I mark that as a pick. But as I move through, oh, I'm kind of liking these. He's starting to bring his head up a little bit. And I like that there's starting to be a little bit more of a gap here. So I'm always looking for that too, making sure that parts of the body don't kind of blend together. And if you think of your image in the terms of like a silhouette, if it's a silhouette, you need separation between elements of the body. And I think that applying a silhouette concept to even a non-silhouette image is a good way to think about it, so the shape of the animal is recognizable. I really do like this shot here. So again, I can go into my flagged images and you can definitely see the difference between the images. Just, you know, a fraction of a second, but it makes all the difference. This one, his nose is over top of his paw quite a bit. The eye is a bit dark. This one, his head is lifted up more, making more separation, and then the eye is definitely a bit more vibrant. Now, animals, unlike humans, we can't go out and pose them any which way that we might want, but what we can do is maybe not select this unless you're doing a tongue out Tuesday. Elk like to chomp as they walk, and in this case, this elk was walking through this field, and what I want to do is find an image where his leg is raised, kind of like this, although I don't like his mouth here. I don't like that at all, so I wouldn't use this, but I want to find an image where his leg is raised, and what that does is it gives the sense of motion to the viewer. So we're just kind of scrolling through here, trying to find a shot like this one right here. I really like that. The leg is raised, his mouth is closed, it's critically sharp on his eye and the rest of his body, and you can see this is my edit right here. There's even a bit of a catch light going on there in his eye, and motion is indicated by that raised leg. The same thing would go for birds, trying to find shots where the wings are in good positions, but with animals that are in motion, I love that raised leg to reveal that sense of movement. Story is always king. Anytime we can tell a compelling story with a still image, you're going to be way ahead of the game. So with these two cubs in this series of images, the cub on the left was attempting to sleep and the guy on the right just would not leave him alone. So we can go through this, and I do, again, looking for separation. I don't like that here. The next shot, there is more separation now. They're not overlapping each other at all. So scrolling through the images, I thought that these ones were a little bit too mean, a little bit ferocious. Although if you have a sibling, you have fought with your brother or your sister. I really liked this shot. So this one's getting closer, but I really liked this shot. And the reason that I liked it is because there is still separation. I had the rim light going and there's action happening. Again, movement. That hand, or that paw, I should call it, is right above the snout of the bear on the left. He's almost saying ow as his brother is bopping him on the head. Now, another consideration to have with bears as we move forward in the sequence, and this guy is finally getting a little bit of sleep, the ears. With bears, I always like to have ears popped up and forward if you can. It's not always possible in every scenario, but I always like to do that if I can. And for that reason, I would not use an image like this right here, where the ears are back. It just makes their head look a little bit awkward, and even though this is a side view, probably wouldn't go with that one. If you come home from a shoot with way too many images like I do, I hope that some of these tips can help you to save time by only editing the best and only posting the best. Remember, no one needs to see the shots that didn't work. Just share your best with your audience. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and check out this video. I'll see you over there.